lead to permanent disability or death. And what are these? Like history of significant trauma, we might miss a soft tissue injury or internal derangement or a fracture. Now, hot and swollen joints, the patient might tell that the joint is very warm and it swells. Then it might occur in infection, systemic rheumatic diseases, gout and pseudo-gout, etc. And the patient who also has fever and constitutional symptoms, it might be infection, sepsis, or systemic rheumatic disease like rheumatoid arthritis or SLE. And if there is a weakness, whether it is focal or is it bilateral or it is involving a specific pattern. Now, musculoskeletal examination. The major goal of examination is to detect warmth over a joint effusion or pain and pain on the motion, because these are the signs of inflammation, and then it tells us that it is not merely arthralgia but the patient is suffering from arthritis. The combination of point tenderness, reduced active range of motion and preserved passive range of motion suggests soft tissue disorders including bursitis, tendinitis or muscle injury. Many patient comes with us कि जी घुटनों से तो आवाज़ आती रहती है, म्यूजिकल घुटने हो गए, तो we have to reassure them that crepitus is not associated. If the crepitus is not associated with pain or limitation of motion, it is generally of no clinical significance. Now, physical examination doesn't end to is not limited to the joints only. We have to find out. We have to look for the extra-articular findings as well. The clinical syndromes, like the extra-articular findings, must be the skin, the eyes, the genitals, and the vessels, everything, so that we can fit it into a clinical syndrome if the patient is suffering from any, like SLE, vasculitis, or it might be hypothyroidism or any other systemic illness. We can do a screening examination for musculoskeletal disorder. Like they say that the examination of the patient starts when the patient walks into the clinic. The way the patient is walking, is it an antalgic gait, like he's putting stress on one toe and not on the other? What is the skin texture if you shake hand with the patient? Is there any leg length discrepancy, or the patient is like, okay, the screening examination for musculoskeletal disorder, basically we call it GALS. It encompasses gait, arms, legs and spine. Now, how do we assess the gait? The patient standing in an anatomical position, we observe for the bulk and symmetry of the muscles. Is it equal or is it wasted at some place? Limb alignment, if there is limb shortening, like the patient had a fracture, or in childhood he has one joint involvement, so one leg will be short and the patient won't be able to walk properly. Alignment of the spine, this can be functional or true problem to the spine. Like functional, when there is limb length discrepancy, then it might show scoliosis, or we will have to assess that both the iliac crest are at the same level, or the patient is able to fully extend the elbow and knees, and popliteal fossa. For these we don't have to touch the patient. If the patient is just coming to you or walking to you, you can assess all these things. And is there any abnormality in the feet? Observe the patient's gait for symmetry, smoothness and ability to turn quickly. We have partially discussed all of these. If we feel that the patient is putting more stress on one leg, then we can ask the patient to walk on the toes and or on the heel. It will differentiate that whether the sciatic pain is causing this antalgic gait, or the nerve entrapment or obturator foramina. Now, for the arms, we ask the patient to put their arms behind the head, and this will assess the shoulder abduction, external rotation and elbow flexion. With the patient's hand held out,